You know, this came out of the tragic incidents in Connecticut in Newtown, and I feel, and I think the country feels, that we're in a point where we really have to look at our Americans' relationship to guns. And cities around the country have been doing these gun buybacks. There are a lot of guns in any American city, including ours. And this is an opportunity, a buyback program is an opportunity to reduce the number of guns that are out there and thereby make people a little bit safer. You know, I know that we're not going to buy back anywhere near the total number of guns that are out there, but I really do feel that every one that we do buy back is one less potential tragedy in our town. That the presence of a gun in the house is seldom used for self-defense, but statistically often used for suicide, for domestic violence, is stolen and then used in a crime by somebody else, or just an accidental shooting, and we hear of those every year. And so people have these guns in their homes. They may have inherited them. A former friend or spouse may have left it there. And this is a way to get those out of your house and make sure that the police department safely disposes of those guns. So I think it's a concrete public safety step. It's also an education and an opening of the discussion, and you're going to see a lot of this at the national, state, and local levels. What do we really want our relationship with guns to be? And do we want to continue to have a relationship where it makes every domestic violence worse, where it aids and abets suicides, and where we end up with 20 or more of our fellow Americans murdered in a single instant by guns.
Now, Chief, the police have managed the details of how this is going to work. The first one is on Saturday. Have you had any interest from people thus far?
Well, at this point, I haven't had any interest or anyone call and ask about Saturday's program. What we have had is several people call and indicate that they want to turn their guns in prior to the buyback program. And just turn them in without any fees, without any expectation of reimbursement. So that's a good thing. It tells me that people out there are getting the message, and there are some out there that are very willing to part with some of these weapons that they have no use for.
And can they do that? They can turn
Absolutely. If someone is willing to turn in a weapon and not participate in the buyback program, all they have to do is call the Santa Fe Police Department, and we'll make arrangements with our evidence technician to set an appointment, bring the weapon in. That weapon will be taken into custody, and we'll put it along with the others and prepare for destruction. Because
it turns out it's not that easy what do you do with a gun you have that you don't want anymore?
Well, and that's part of the problem. There's a lot of people out there that have weapons that are stored in closets, or, I mean, they're not secured properly, first of all, but these people don't use them, they don't want them. And as the mayor indicated, all it takes is a burglary, someone stealing that gun, and the next thing we know, we find out it's being used in an armed robbery or a shooting of some type. So it's best to get those weapons out and off the streets and to some place where you can destroy them. There's not many venues where you can take a weapon and just dispose of it, get rid of it, unless you want to try to sell it on the open market, but then you never know who's going to buy it and what they're going to use it for.
Right.